after I was rudely interrupted by that peacock. I hope you guys have had a good week. It's been a little while since I have seen you guys. Been busy at work, but now I'm busy and ready to get back to farming. So in today's episode, we want to get this field seeded, that field seeded, all our fields spread with fertilizer, and we need to get the field across the road cultivated and hopefully get some crop put in the ground over there as well. But before we get directly into the farming, I hope that the audio is good. I have learned that I'm supposed to be speaking in the yellow part of the bar and not in the green part. I always thought the yellow part for speaking was like, oh, you're getting close to red, that's a no-no. And I also learned what filters are. So, now that I know what filters are, hopefully that cuts out a bit more of the dead noise. It still doesn't cut out the peacock because the peacock is very loud and ignorant, but that's to be expected, I guess. With all that housekeeping out of the way, let's see if we can get this cultivator working. This tractor definitely doesn't have the greatest turning radius, but I'm used to having two-wheel drive tractors, not front-wheel assist. It is a little bit of a pain using my keyboard because my mic is a desk-mounted mic with a, I don't know, like a foot-long cord thing that comes out of it, but it sits right in front of my keyboard to get it a little bit closer to my yap. So I gotta reach around everything there, so whenever I try to use my keyboard, I normally don't like trying to speak at the same time, just in case I bump into the microphone. And that might make a awful sound for viewing pleasures, or hearing pleasures, I guess I should say. You don't view sound. But this field definitely is not going to take very long at all. I did plow out the other fields. I think in the last episode we plowed 79 and 80. I did plow 81 and 78 at the off camera. No, I think we only plowed 79. So yeah, I plowed all three of these fields off camera. Just because you saw me plow the one field, it's going to be the same thing. What are your thoughts on FS22 now? That trailer did just come out. I'm not sure if I'm right here, but by the looks of it in the one frame, they're pulling a white planter. That blue planter that they have there. So that looks alright if they bring white into the game. There's a lot of white equipment out by where I live here in Ontario. I know in the original trailer that they put out with the hat on the pickup truck, I'm not sure if they'll have Ford or not as like a licensed brand. I doubt it. Because like even in FS19's trailer, it showed a Ford-like pickup truck. But then in game we never got a pickup truck that looked like it at all in base game. So I'll be surprised if we actually get a licensed truck brand like that in FS19 or FS22, sorry. But yeah, let me know what you guys are thinking, what you guys are looking forward to, what you'd like to see in the next game down below in the comments. See if we can get a conversation going, spitballing ideas. But the peacock of mine is being pretty noisy sitting on my deck, trying to stay out of the heat today. I mean, I can't really blame him. I don't like being hot either. Maybe next year we can upgrade to direct drill seeder, so then we don't have to cultivate or plow every field before we need to seed. I would definitely save on trips up and down the field, wear and tear, fuel, whole 9 yards, the whole kit and caboodle. I read something online the other day about the origin of the whole 9 yards. And it was on Facebook, so I was taking it with a grain of salt anyways, but they were saying in World War II that the amount of ammunition that went into the wings of a World War II Spitfire, I think it was the Spitfire, was 9 yards. So if you're able to waste all of your ammo on one target, you essentially gave him the whole 9 yards. It was like, oh, that's neat. And a bunch of people were in the comments saying, no, that's false, that's not where it came from. Which then put me in a rabbit hole of trying to figure out where that saying came from. And no one knows where the saying has come from. Apparently, there was a newspaper article um, released about something about the whole 6 yards, but not the whole 9 yards. So it's definitely one of those mysteries of the world. Just like, you know, that fancy S you drew in schools, with the 3 lines up top and the 3 lines below, and then you connected the lines. Yeah, where did that come from? Everyone knows it. Everyone remembers it. No one knows where it started. The internet isn't your friend there, because that'll get you sucked down a rabbit hole pretty quick. I think this does have seed in it, but I'm not sure how much we actually have. We are also going to need some fertilizer. There is some fertilizer in that over there, so we might as well just start, once again, getting out of this tractor like I have another one to get into. Start spreading some fertilizer. I hope the peacock doesn't annoy you. I know when I first started living with them, probably 5, 6 years ago, I was like, oh, they're so cool. But now, after dealing with them for so long, it's definitely got annoying. That's a pretty good working with on this. I'm wasting almost half of my fertilizer there. And stop. Perfect. Don't want to go down in the water. That's bad news, bears. Getting fertilizer mixed up with your water stream. I think we would have some pretty big fines from the township. Greta would not be happy with me. I mean, I probably wouldn't be happy if someone put a bunch of fertilizer in my water where I live either. But yeah, the FS22 definitely looks weird to me, because are they going... I know Daggerwin was having this issue of running out of characters in this game. Are they only going to have 2 characters in the next one? The father and the daughter? Because if they are, that's going to really bugger up people for like a roleplay aspect. And I'm not one for the roleplay aspect too much in this game, but I know a lot of people are. That's going to really make things hard for like roleplay narrative, right? You can only do the father-daughter roleplay, not even so much roleplay, but the narrative, for so long. And that's why Daggerwin's survival roleplay, that's why he had to stop his, because he just didn't have any more characters. I'm not sure how easy it would be to like get new characters into the game. I'm assuming pretty difficult if he just couldn't do it anymore. He's been doing this for many of years now, and if he can't figure it out, well, I don't think anyone could. Hopefully, they're not doing that, because if they are, then that's going to really not be super great. So yeah, I did plow out this bottom field here. It was grass. So you can see there's still the other field down there with grass in it. But we can plant grass back in it if we want to. Figured for the first year though, it'd probably be better to get some crops under our belt. Just so we don't have to worry so much come next year. More things we can harvest this year, better setup we will be for next year, I think. This fertilizer's going at a pretty good rate. Definitely not quite as slow as the lime did in the previous episode. No one did guess the amount of lime used, so I guess that means I win, so I get my own shout out. So shout out to Toman G for guessing the correct amount. Well, actually, he didn't guess the correct amount, he just saw the picture of the correct amount. And I will put the picture somewhere in here of the actual correct amount, in case any of you were actually wondering. Do you think I can remember what the correct amount is now? No, because it's been over a week since I last recorded that video. But since I was smart, I took a screenshot of it. Anyways, I'll get these fields done, spread with fertilizer, and I will see you guys either when I have to go pick up more fertilizer or when the job is done. I did just remember that we do have a bit of fertilizer sitting in the garden shed over here. So let's just be big and strong and slide this bag out. And we're even going to have enough in that bag to fill it up again. So that's good to know. I think I'm just going to leave the fertilizer out here for now though. Set it right there. Close our shed doors. And get back to it. So this field's just at that right size just to tick you off because it's not quite narrow enough to be covered by the one pass of the fertilizer spreader. But it leaves just that nice little strip of where you got to come back and waste a bunch just to get it done. So that's wonderful. It's to be expected though, they're small fields. There's always going to be a little bit of overlap in these smaller fields. So as it sits right now, field 81 and 78 are fully fertilized. This field will also be fully fertilized by the looks of it. 79 and 80 have only had one application of fertilizer. So once we seed those, we'll go back over with the fertilizer spreader and just get those bumped up to where then they only need one application of fertilizer when the crop actually comes up. I hope this tractor can be fit with row crop tires. If not, we'll have to look at other alternatives. But until we have to cross that bridge, I'm not going to worry about it. So we are going to need wheat or barley for the chickens over there that we want to get next year. What temperature actually is it? 2 degrees. I think it needs to be 5 degrees. Yeah, we are in the planting window. I think I'll wait until tomorrow before I actually plant those, just to be on the safe side. And it's the afternoon, there's nothing else to do, so I think I'll see you guys in the morning. So morning. It's not fully light. We got a ground temp of 7 by the looks of it. And we are well within our planting window for everything we want to plant. Wheat, barley. Not sure if we're going to do oats. I think we want to do wheat, barley, and canola this year. So if we do 1 field of wheat, 1 field of barley, and 78, 81 with canola, and 100 with canola. I think canola is going to be our cash crop. I'm not sure when the best time to sell these crops are. Wheat, second day of winter. Barley, second day of winter. Canola, first day of winter. So yeah, I think that's going to be the best. We also got the best price for canola by the looks of it. Yeah. So, I think that is going to be a good start. Let's get some lights on. Apparently that's my high beams, I guess. Definitely not the best lights on this tractor, but it is what it is. And we're putting crops in the ground. Very nice. It's definitely a good feeling. It's definitely not the greatest that sometimes, depending on the angle, the seeder will hit the ground and start putting crops in the ground when I haven't lowered it. So I should really get in the habit of turning it off. Just turn it off. You know? I'll save a lot of headaches if you just turn it off. Will I ever learn? Probably not. Should really take my own advice. Just turn it off. So hopefully once we get this seeded here, it's changed the ground state so we can put more fertilizer on it. That's what I'm hoping for at least. So it looks like the width could probably go up just a tad on the GPS. So I think I'll play around with that and try to get that bang on. But coming back this side, it looks alright. So I'm not sure, maybe it was just that angle that I was on. That's another thing I'm hoping for in FS22, is that I can't just go from wheat to barley without actually changing the seed in the seeder or planter itself. I know it's convenient and easy, but it's not realistic at all. And I really hope they can change that to where each crop needs its own seed type. It would add a lot of realism to the game. And it would also make it to where you can't just plant everything under the sun, because you would need to buy individual seeds for individual crop. Especially if they're implementing some sort of like seasonal thing to the game. I know it's not actually like the mod seasons that we have, but it's something similar. It would definitely make you think about what you're going to plant the year in advance type thing, which I think is a great idea. It would add a lot to the game, a lot of planning to the game. You might have a good year of that crop, you might have a bad year of that crop, just like it is in real life. There might be some sort of insect that just shows up out of the blue that eats just that crop. Heaven forbid that kind of stuff happens, but you never know, right? It's always a risk and a possibility. And with that said, each seed has a different price. Some seed is worth more. Some seed's worth less, depending on the area you're in as well. It might cost more, it might cost less. There's definitely a lot of potential in this game, as long as they know how to capture it and harness that potential. FS22 could be a real good game, especially since they're implementing the factory stuff, like some productions and whatnot. Adds another layer to the game. I'm not sure exactly how I feel on that, because we're kind of getting away from the farming aspect of things. I don't know too many farmers that they'll sell their crop to a grain merchant, and then the grain merchant does whatever it needs to do. Different applications of the same product can pay out differently, and I get that. But the whole production thing, it's like, okay, well, we're now farmers and we're also grain merchants ourselves. Like, what are we really supposed to be here? We're farming it. No one farms it all, processes it all themselves, and then sends it on down the line, which they're also doing as well. And I get it, it's a game and they want to make it so there's a lot more stuff, make it a little less repetitive, but farming is repetitive. You do the same things every year, year in, year out, day out, but the equipment can change, the problems change, you have different types of breakdowns, different type of people in your life even. Things are always changing and evolving, new technologies, stuff like that. I'm going to go out on a limb and say precision farming is going to be in FS22, since they partnered to do that whole spiel in FS19, and it's like a 5-year program or whatever it may be. So hopefully we'll see that return with a few less bugs on launch, at least. I was going to pre-order mine. I was like, I kind of want to get the collector's edition, so I've never got the collector's edition before. But then it hit me, it's like, then I gotta buy the game twice. I gotta buy it, the collector's edition, and get the disc. And then I gotta buy the digital edition off of Steam or wherever when that comes out. Because who likes using discs anymore? I had like 3 games that were on a disc on my PS4. But I had like 20 or 30 games that were downloaded on my PS4 or in my library. And even though I wanted to play Grand Theft Auto 5, it was on a disc. So unless it was already in the disc tray, I wasn't playing it. I know, first world problems, you gotta get up and put a disc in. I get it. But at the same time, you know, technology's changed and you're like, why do I need this physical copy of it? You know, saying that out loud has just like gave me goosebumps, because that's a scary thing to think about. I forgot to turn my cedar on. But the world is changing so much and we don't even need a physical copy of anything anymore. It's all online. So when we're buying a $60 game, we're not physically buying anything materialized. It's credit on a web account saying you now have access to this. That's a scary thing to think about. Yeah. These are the thoughts and thought processes that go through my head. And yeah. Welcome. Welcome to my inner workings. You scared yet? 'Cause I am. Alright, well, I think we're... So we're going to get this field done here. I think we're going to back up to the fertilizer spreader and spread these 2 fields with fertilizer again to hopefully get it up to 66% fertilizing, because they're only at 33. And then I'll probably seed that big field off camera. Going down the field at 3 meters at a time can get it can get a little disorienting. Disorienting? Yeah, I think so. But I hope the audio has been good with the filters. I hope all my words are coming through. They did on my test. And if they're not, then I'm going to have to record this whole episode again, which I really hope I don't need to do. Well, I do have the time. It'll just, yeah, you get it. So, since we're going to be using the seeder again shortly, grab a hold of the fertilizer spreader and get those 2 fields spread. Might as well just top back up with fertilizer before we go. Oh, almost. You almost saw the green tractor going into the river. Are those weeds starting there already? Don't tell me I already have weeds in my field. I do. Wow. That's wonderful. The field's been planted for maybe an hour. And I've already got weeds coming up. Oh, that's great. Well, I guess that means in the next episode we gotta get the herbicide sprayer out. And get our fields sprayed. I think I will probably just spray everything, just so I don't have to worry about these spots here and there. If the fields were bigger, I probably wouldn't care quite as much for the yield decreases, but since our fields are pretty small, I need to be as productive as I can be. Don't have the added room to just gamble with the crop intake that I need. Right on. Well, I think that's some pretty good progress for today. Got all the fields fertilized. Fields 79 and 80 up to 66%. So once we get some herbicide onto that, we should be able to get the fields fully fertilized. We do need to seed the big field over here. Field 81 and 78 with canola, and field 100 with canola. So hopefully we should get a good yield of canola this year. I do hope that it actually comes through. We will probably need to go pick up some more seed in the next episode, along with some more fertilizer. Thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Next episode, we will be spreading herbicide to kill off the weeds. You might see a little bit of seeding field 100. And we'll also hopefully be fertilizing the last bit of our fields to get them 100% fertilized. And then after that, I think we'll just have to pass the time. But anyways, with that said, guys, thanks for watching again. If you liked the video, hit the like button. If you enjoy what I'm doing here, hit the subscribe button. If you don't like either me or what I'm doing, hit the downvote button. Let me know. Give me some feedback. Comment down below your thoughts. And if my audio has improved or completely sucks now, let me know that down below too. I need the feedback. And thank you for watching. I'll see you in the next one.